we all know how important it is that Manchester United get our sales and exits right this summer. There's already a couple of players who have gone. There's going to be at least 5, 6, maybe even 7 or 8 or 9 more. And I know that sounds unrealistic, but really, this could be the summer where Manchester United genuinely clear out the deadwood, where this man really is going to be ruthless in clearing this squad from the players he doesn't need to the players he needs. I'm going to run through all of that in the next 10 minutes before we bring you bang up to date. Make sure you drop a like on the video. I've covered this in my live show. I know not everybody has an hour to join in my live shows every day. That's why I do these shorter ones at the same time, creating content for everyone. So make sure you drop a like on it. But Ten Hag, we know full well there's 2 names that are already on that exit list, right? Phil Jones was the first one. This should have happened a few years ago. I don't blame Phil Jones for that. I think that's mismanagement, and that contract that he was given, he just kind of saw out. He did see it out. Good luck to Phil Jones. That's money saved on the wages. Jack Butland was brought in because Dubravka left the club. I don't think he even played a game. Third choice, gone. Good luck at Rangers. Couple of wages saved on our list. Now, you'll know that I did my keep or sell earlier this week, and I think there's 14 players on that list. Some that won't leave, and you might say that 14 is an unrealistic number, and I would normally agree with you. Now, I don't think that 14 will be the ultimate number, but I think this summer's really going to see the most significant movement in one single summer that I can remember. Last summer was about Pogba, Mata, Matic, and Lingard, and there were a few others too. This one's going to be more widespread, and I mean this in a really positive way, and that's a good thing because we all expected that Ten Hag was going to be frustrated about being able to make any moves early in this window. Now, the Mason Mount story at this point, it's kind of surprised us how far down the line it is. Maybe Kim as well, maybe Harry Kane. But when it comes to player sales, player exits, Ten Hag has full control over that. You don't need money for that. And an owner will not dictate which players get kept or sold. Well, they shouldn't do. But anyway, this is what Fabrizio Romano is saying. And there's a few more players on this list. Maguire, Weghorst, Henderson, Van der Beek, Bailly, and Telles. And the list will not stop there because there's more I'm adding to that list too that I think are genuinely realistic. Harry Maguire, of course, well, it certainly is mine. And probably for a lot of United fans, he's the first name on the sale list. He's currently club captain. It just hasn't worked out to the level that we wanted it to. That season where he nearly got in Premier League Team of the Season, played with England at the Euros, where England lost to the final to Wembley, and he got into the team of the tournament. That was probably the best we got out of Harry Maguire, and it's not going to get any better. But Spurs are interested in signing, confirmed by the Times and confirmed by Sammy Motbelfer and the Daily Mail, who's gaining a little bit of reliability in this summer transfer window. Reports suggesting that they want to bring him in to sort of appease and, please Harry Kane. No, I'd rather see one Harry going one way and one Harry coming the other way. Let's see if that actually happens. But Harry Maguire, good money coming in for Manchester United there, and that should be happening. And the same goes for Dean Henderson, who will be going back to Nottingham Forest. Now, I think that Man United should be getting, and we've debated and discussed this as a community, somewhere in the region of 50 to 60 million, probably for those two combined. That's really good money in. That's a lot of money off the wages. Just for those two combined, I believe is near enough £300,000 a week. And there are so many more to add to that list. Dean Henderson going to Forest and Maguire going wherever he goes. Donny van der Beek. I really feel sorry for the lad. Genuinely, I've got a lot of sympathy for him, especially with that last injury he got where it felt like if he's going to get it, now's the time. But if we're talking about being ruthless, because Ten Hag could be maybe not forgiven. But of all the players maybe to give another chance to would be a player that he has a previous connection with from his time at Ajax. You think maybe Donny van der Beek will get one more chance, but this is not the summer for that. This is not the season for that. Too many passengers have existed at Manchester United for so long. Unfortunately for Donny, we're just going to have to say that didn't work out, did it? 40 million, I think thereabouts we signed him for. I don't think we'll probably get more than 10 to 15 mil. I hope he goes back to Ajax. I think that's the best place for him to restart his career. But that there is Jones and Butland leaving on free transfers. That's 2. You've got Maguire, Henderson, and Van der Beek. That will be 5 overall, 3 permanent exits. And there are far more on top of that. Anthony Elanga, look, United should be getting somewhere in the real. Remember when we saw last week, it was the concept that Anthony Elanga might go for 10 million. And I was like, what? He's 21. He might not be good enough for Manchester United technically. But he's got like 50 senior appearances. He's a Sweden full international. Him for 10 million? Nah. 15 to 20 feels a bit more reasonable. I don't think Anthony Langer will be short of clubs. Maybe Borussia Dortmund would be a good place for him. Just off the top of my head, I think he was linked to Dortmund previously. But Anthony Langer, that should be a good bit of money coming in for Manchester United. So that's now, you've got Maguire, you've got Henderson, you've got Van der Beek, you've got Elanga, you've got Axel Tuanzebe, who will be following Phil Jones out of the door. Phil Jones' contract expired, and Axel Tuanzebe's will have expired. I don't think the announcement's been made yet, but that's a case of when and not if. Tuanzebe will be following him out the door. And then on top of that, you've got Brandon Williams, who I just don't see how Brandon Williams fits in now. At left back, we've got Shaw and Malacia, and then Alvaro Fernandez. At right back, you've got Delo and Wan-Bissaka, and probably the logic is that we get another right back further down the line. There is no space for Brandon Williams. He didn't fully take advantage of the opportunity that was there for him, but I think he had a really cracking, was it Norwich? Not last season, season before. He's had a good couple of loan spells. Brandon Williams should be following Anthony. I'll probably put him in the same category as Anthony Langer. Not price-wise, but, you know, someone who's got quality, got talent, just not quite good enough for Manchester United. Brandon Williams, add on to that list. And then there are others too. Anthony Martial, for me, feels... You know how I've just explained everything about how I feel with Donny van der Beek, right? In terms of the opportunities that he's had, it's just not quite worked out. The exact same thing applies to Martial, but probably worse. He's been here for longer. He's had more opportunities. United cannot afford to keep him anymore, and he's on huge wages. He's on like 250 grand a week. And that's a big thing that I will cover at the end of the video about how much money United are going to be saving throughout all of these. But Martial, I don't think anything's going to happen with Tony until we get new strikers in. Until maybe there's a Harry Kane, maybe there's a Victor Osimhen or a Rasmus Højlund, whatever that is. Until we bring players in, I don't think we'll be having a conversation around Martial leaving. And I think the same goes for Scott McTominay. But Scott McTominay is a player who we could get good money for. So that's what I mean about, it might sound unrealistic to say that 10 plus players of United will leave, but that's Jones and Butland. That's two that are gone. Sabitzer and Weghorst, they won't get their contracts renewed. That therefore is 4. You've got Maguire, 5. Henderson, 6. Donny van der Beek, 7. I think Elanga should be going, 8. Brandon Williams, that's 9. Add in Martial, that's 10. Add in Scott McTominay, that's 11. And none of that really affects the quality of Manchester United's starting 11, which is an absolute madness when you think about it. And then the thing that is so important on top of all of this is the money we're going to be saving, right? Let's quickly, I did this on the live stream, and this isn't going to be a perfect number, all right? Because no one really truly knows exactly what the wages are, but let's try and get a rough estimation of what the wages that we'll be saving if all of these players leave. And I'm going to include Anthony Martial in this because I think he will leave once we've got our new attackers in. So that's 250 grand a week from Anthony Martial, right? Harry Maguire's on 190 grand a week, right? You've got Donny van der Beek's on 120 grand a week. Dean Henderson is on 100 grand a week. Alex Telles, who I didn't even mention there, Telles and Bailly. Another 2 players, my word. I really genuinely think it's over 10 players that we are getting rid of this summer. I really do. 93 grand. Erik Bailly, 80 grand. Brandon Williams, 65 grand. As if Scott McTominay is only on 60 grand. That's unfortunate for him. Scott McTominay. Who else we got down here? Anthony Elanga. Jeez, he's not on. There's no way he's on. Is he on 5 grand? And then you've got money saved on, let's say that roughly Weghorst will be on 50 grand. That Sabitzer will be on 50 grand. That Tuanzebe, his name's not on that list for some reason, roughly 50 grand. Let's also add in the fact that Manchester United, if De Gea stays, this is an estimation. He's on 375 grand a week. If he's going to be our second choice goalkeeper, let's say he goes down to 200 grand, and that's still quite a lot of money. But that'll be 175 grand we saved. Plus we saved half a million a week on Ronaldo leaving. 1.75 million, well, thereabouts, pounds per week on wages. of players who could and should be leaving the club. And I'll be honest, not really affecting the quality and the strength of this man's starting 11 or the squad. Now, of course, there's plenty of variables in that. That's not a guaranteed number, but it just goes to show you how much money United can raise through sales from Maguire, Henderson, Maguire, Henderson, Van der Beek, by Tellez, and players you can actually get money for. McTominay maybe, Martial maybe, but also in the wages you can save. There is so much improvement that can come back into this squad. Just reinvest in the money that we're spending incorrectly and start spending it correctly. That's why I'm excited about this. That's why I wanted to do this full sort of summary of where we are at this moment in time, because things seem to be moving faster than I think probably we imagined. But when it comes to player sales and exits, that shouldn't be determined by the new ownership. That should just be down to who Ten Hag wants. I'm excited about it. And as I've just shown there, numbers-wise, there's so much more that can be reinvested back into this club and spent properly. We've spent badly for a long time, man. This summer might be where we finally, genuinely, do a proper clear out. I'm excited for it.